Welcome to Kerala. In this quick video, I'll show you some of the best beaches in Kerala, Varkala and Marari Beach. Varkala is nice but very busy with domestic as well as international tourism. Marari Beach is much more untouched. It's much more relaxed and tourism is not yet massively developed. We started with Varkala. That's interesting the way they stuck those broken glass bottles on top of the wall to avoid any intruders. Varkala was fairly busy when we visited because we arrived the day before New Year's Eve. It is beautiful. Above the beach, on top of the cliffs, you've got a little footpath with all the restaurants and bars. The beach is very nice as well. Bearing in mind it can be a bit wavy. And you're not really allowed to swim as far as you want to swim. Like in many beaches in India, well, the ones that have a lifeguard, you might be whistled at if you go a bit too far. Varkala Beach is also a great place to go and watch the sunset. On top of the cliffs, you have a lot of cafes and restaurants and bars. Alcohol is not accessible everywhere in Kerala. The sale of alcohol is very much controlled by government, so you have some bars with an expensive license that are officially allowed to sell it, and you also have establishments selling it under the table, especially for New Year's Eve. This was an official beer they were allowed to sell. Sometimes you also come across some very cryptic menus, like this one here, cold refreshment, mojito, Cuba Libre, pineapple daiquiri. So those are very obviously cocktails, right? But never does it say the name of the alcohol. And they cannot be mocktails because that establishment had another page with the mocktails. So my guess is that they do actually sell the cocktails, but illegally, so they don't want any proofs on the menu. So basically, even if you don't see alcohol on the menu, it's always worth asking. You might also notice graffiti that looks communist, like this one here. The state of Kerala has communist politicians in power at the moment. This is a beautiful temple. You can go and explore. Well, they'll probably expect a little donation on the way out. After that, time to go home for a quick shower. Our first hotel was rubbish, by the way. And this is what was climbing on my leg in the shower. Not sure what it is, not sure I want to know. We did come across some interesting insects. Now, the next morning, time for a dosa. Dosas were our favorite breakfast food. It's like a flat, savory crepe with a little bit of curries and sauces. And that particular restaurant had a goat. Indian goats are funny. They have a different shape of head. After that, we rented a couple of scooters. We paid a bit more than usual, but it was New Year's Eve, so a lot of the scooters were already rented anyway. It was more than elsewhere in India, but it was still not that bad. It was like 10 British pounds a day. First, we went south, where we came across some beautiful mosques. In Kerala, by the way, you wanna buy petrol at the petrol station. That might sound like a stupid thing to say, but there are many countries in South Asia where you can actually buy little bottles of petrol at any corner shop. Like in Goa, for example. That is not the case in Kerala. They respect the law, so you have to buy it at the petrol station. And they have red bananas! They taste like regular bananas, though. Now, time for a thali, a fish thali and a veg thali, served on banana leaves. Great way to present it, of course. But not particularly convenient on a windy day. This is now north of Varkala. Back to Varkala Beach for New Year's Eve celebrations. Now, as I was stood there, someone stopped his moped to tell me that something was on my foot. This. I'll slow down the video. I think it's a skink. I had not seen one before. Apparently, India has 62 different species of skinks. Half of those are endemic. We also spotted a big snake later on the beach. In Marari Beach. Not sure if it was a rat snake or a sea snake. This pineapple juice and Coke might look very innocent, but we did manage to get a shot of rum thrown into them. So you always need to ask, even if it's not on the menu. A bit of firework, and then time for another beer. This one came as a double, hidden in mugs. That was it for our New Year's Eve celebrations. The next morning, we jumped on a train to go down towards Marari Beach. Now, as the train approached, people jumped on the tracks. It's like, what? I realized later on that they wanted to be on the track to be able to enter through the open doors on the other side and then get the best seats. Because some Indian trains do get busy. We had to sit on the luggage compartment again. After the train, quick tuk-tuk ride, and we got there, Marari Beach. Marari Beach was our last destination before to get back into Kochi. And we decided to book a second night just to stay and enjoy. We had time for Ayurvedic products, like face mask. The term Ayurvedic is for any natural local medicines. Although it does look like the term is a bit overused at the moment. Anything with botanics inside could be called Ayurvedic, really. But I have heard good things about some people going to visit Ayurvedic doctors. So, if you are into your natural medicines, come and visit Kerala. Marari Beach is also great for sunset. And the beach is very clean. I suspect it is because there's a big resort on the beach, and I suspect it's the staff from the resorts that actually go and clean. Because a lot of the beaches in India are not very clean, sadly. And it is also fairly quiet. You have a lot of space for yourself. We stayed in a lovely little guest house, meters away from the beach, and I think it cost us only less than $20 a night, with the breakfast. That's without the air conditioning. There's often a big difference between the aircon and not aircon rooms. Time for another beer. Hidden this time. We were told to put the bottles under the table. Like if anyone was gonna look at those glasses and think, do you think that is lemonade or tea? Now, look, you see an Hindu frame here as a decoration in this lovely little eatery. And if you look there, you see Jesus. The mixing of religion has surprised me in India. Some people would describe themselves as Hindu, but they love Jesus as well. The village part of Marari Beach is quite small, and it's not massively touristy, so it makes you feel special. This is the Lord Shiva statue, one of the principal deities in Hinduism. He is blue, looking a bit like the genie in Aladdin. He's got the ability to destroy. He will wipe out the universe. In the end of days, only to be reborn and begin a new one. His third eye can burn anyone, even gods. Oh, a camel. I didn't even know there were some in India. Now, if you're looking for a place to eat, you might want to go into a hotel. In India, they often use the term hotel for a restaurant, although it's not attached to any hotel at all. Coming with your food, you might be served some water, free water. That might look a bit pink. This is patimukam water. It is a pink wood that's been boiled into the water. It is Ayurvedic as well. It is said to be good for guts, for heart disease, blood purification, and it's got some antibacterial properties as well. Now, I did not film it because I did not want to be disrespectful to anybody. But that morning on the beach, we spotted some people that seemed to be praying in the water. And we were like, ooh, should we keep going? It looks a bit like a funeral ritual. It was. One of the ladies gave us some sweets, Cadbury's. They were actually in the process of immersing the ashes. It is a Hindu tradition, I believe, to be called Asti Varsijan, to put the ashes back in the water, the sea or the river, representing the return to the cosmos, the circle of life, hoping to transport the soul to heaven, escaping the circle of rebirth. And the food offering, it's a central part of Hindu funeral rituals, known as bhog or prasadam. Back to our little guest house for the last breakfast. Oh, and an Indian palm squirrel. They're so cute. Much smaller than the squirrels we've got in London. Thanks for watching. You might want to consider subscribing. Bye!